When these two worlds collide, it will be dynamite. Five of Swords. The boom heard around the globe. If you have been following me for a very long time before Cherry on Top Tarot was even created, when we were popping off back in about 2021 over on TikTok, I talked about the story of Adam and Eve and the lesser known Lilith. Lilith has been demonized in a lot of different religious texts. But in this context, Lilith is only demonized because she refused to submit to Adam as she believed he was not strong enough. Therefore, she was exiled into the forest on her own. She had to do things on her own. And in that singlehood, she had to develop a lot of strength, which most people demonize divine feminine energy. Just like how Friday the 13th is demonized when the spiritual community as we know it now is reclaiming that space as a time that is meant to empower the divine feminine. Everything linked to divine feminine energy is demonized until now, as we are fully becoming awakened to this and that being true. The reason why I want to talk about this Lilith character at this moment in time is because I talked about Lilith being beat down so much so spiritually that she reaches a breaking point and turns into this eagle screech heard around the globe. You know, when you're put through so much, you apply so much pressure to a rock that it becomes pressed into a diamond. That's what's occurring here. The misunderstood, the judged, the underdog being pressed into literal diamonds. And it's a pressing that will boom like dynamite. And it will call from attention around the globe. Five of Swords. This is like looking back at everything that occurred, everything that happened, seeing how it all started, how it all finished. And it's interesting that I talked about Adam, Eve, and then Lilith because there are three figures in this imagery here. Two that feel defeated and one that comes out the victor. We question, we wonder, is this Lilith that comes out the victor, that turns out to be right all along, the one that we demonized, the one that we said wasn't good enough? The aspect of you that you never claimed, the black sheep of the family, the black sheep aspect within yourself that you denied and refused to claim, is actually the very aspect that crowns you. Page of Pentacles. This looks like the acknowledgement. This is going to show up in a lot of different ways. Okay. It's going to show up outside of you. It's going to show up inside of you. It's going to show up in circumstances that relate to you on a personal level, but outside of yourself. Or it'll be things that are completely unrelated to you, but they still show up in the same exact way, where the underdog or the misunderstood or the one that's always getting the short end of the stick or the underdog proves their point or is at least recognized as the victor that they've always been. The sun shines down to reveal the true nature of responsibility. Who was really responsible for what? As of lately, people have been jokingly but seriously questioning, if Eve bit the apple, then why does Adam have the Adam's apple in his throat? We're asking the right questions now. Again, we've talked about on this channel here where it's not about questioning the good Lord, but just those that claim to have known the good Lord or claim to share stories of the good Lord. History. If history repeats itself, and we're in the repeated part of history currently, but now we're asking all the right questions, truth shall be revealed. Justice is served once the truth is revealed. Dynamite when these worlds collide. Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. Six of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups, Four of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This feels like defenselessness. This feels like no matter what I do, they'll always try to prove me wrong. And also coming through here, this feels like, again, demonizing or trying to damage someone's image or their reputation or their career by trying to say that they're too emotional. History repeating itself in this way. But Eight of Pentacles at the center of the reading says that we've done the work. So that as history repeats itself, we know how to deal with it. We've got a new perspective, a new perception, which breeds a new reality. When these two worlds collide, it will be dynamite. Queen of Cups, Queen of Swords. This feels like passion and truth colliding. Six of Cups and making sweet love. In favor of the work that's been done up until this point, breeding a new opportunity. in the upcoming future, the near future. Again, this is going to show up within you, outside of you, related to you, and unrelated to you. It's going to show up in a multitude of ways. But this is all divine feminine energy working through the collective. But we're not going to go back to that same repeat of history. We couldn't get past this point. We couldn't get past this point. We couldn't get past this point. But now we've done the work to get past this point. Something that's been repeating throughout time, throughout history, in your own personal life and within the real world outside of us. Our economy, our politicians, belief systems, morals, everything's been constantly cycling. Look at that. I didn't even mean to do that, y'all. Everything's been constantly cycling through. This Eight of Pentacles, the work that's being done now is bridging the gap so that we can finally move on. Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Cups, Ace of Cups. So that we can finally move on, plant new seeds that actually help everyone. It brings emotional fulfillment to each individual, thus breeding a new form of love. Ace of Cups here looks just like that one cup that's being presented out of the clear blue sky in the Four of Cups here. Something that we've been trying to get people to see all along is finally here and being accepted as truth because of the work that has been done. Oh, y'all see how I just accidentally switched them? Because that's the missing piece. The missing piece to the puzzle has finally been found and discovered because of the work that's being done. The truth is being uncovered. So those that have been damaged, demonized, thrown to the wayside, considered the underdog, are breaking the chain and rewriting the future because we've done the work. So if you're starting to see repetition or things repeating themselves, I want you to know that it's not going to end up how it once did. The results will not be the same. You can expect to be pleasantly surprised. Now, this doesn't mean that it's going to be all pretty rainbow sunshine and butterflies. No, because that's just not realistic. But you will see that although things start to look like they're repeating themselves or they may start to look the same, it's true work that brings change. I'm hearing that gospel song, break every chain, break every chain, break every chain. This day, oh, that reminds me of another gospel song. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made. I will rejoice, I will rejoice and be glad in it. Capricorn here. Capricorn talks about Saturn energy keeping us on lock, keeping us trapped, those cycles that we were locked in, trapped in. The chains are being broken. Does that not look like someone blasting off? That's Neptune. Neptune is what kept us trapped in this. Neptune is the spirit of confusion, but we're stepping into clarity. I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day that the Lord has made. The day that you're watching this video, the day that this video finds you, is a significant day for you to see the bigger picture with big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. And as if that's not convincing enough, Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. So, something that you've been persistent with, consistent with, and not giving up on. Again, putting the work in, putting the work towards. 21, the World card wraps up a cycle today. Today, change is made. This day. This is the day. This is the day that it heard around the globe. This card wants to let itself be known as well, ebb and flow. It's like expecting the ocean to ebb and flow as it always does, not realizing that one day that ocean's gonna and break the bounds of expectation. Something that you've been consistent with, things that you have been persistent and consistent with, breaks the chains today to reveal where that hard work is paying off and where that hard work is no longer needed or necessary. And those realizations will be so loud that they simply cannot be ignored. Oh, we've got a flipper. Wow, mice, discord among friends or family. For some of you, this is the proof, this is the truth, this is the evidence, or this is just a sign, symbol, or synchronicity. Dog, protection from a powerful friend over the Ace of Pentacles here. Bird flying, news on the way. So, in all of this, we must consider divine timing. There's a reason why we kept cycling through the same old things, same old things. But throughout these same old processes, people were doing different things. People were waking up. People were taking note. People were noticing. People this, people da 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 da. Da. There was, in every repeated cycle, things were still changing. It's like going to work every day and thinking that nothing is changing, but not realizing that it's the repetition of the work that brings progress, that brings change. Now, this thing that has been protected from being created is now unlocked, is now unleashed. Bird flying, news is on the way. We've been talking about good news, good news, good news. It's on the way. And I feel like this is more of a yes in your personal life, but also globally speaking. Birds represent messengers. There seems to be, as they talk about the Spirit of God over the waters, it seems to be a consensus here. Oh, yeah, I talked about the Spirit of God over the waters, and there it is. Those waters were always whispering, they were always telling a story, they were always doing something. Even when it was ebbing and flowing in the same old way, it was doing something. Even when it ebbs and flows in the same way, it's moving sand, whether you see it or not. It's still doing something. So some sort of repeated cycles that kept repeating and repeating and repeating, it just seemed timeless or hopeless. seemed pointless, those moments too contributed to the work. Something that seemed tireless or effortless, meaningless, I should say, is going to be proving that it too is worthy and true. Taking us back to Adam, Eve, and Lilith. Why divine feminine energy that doesn't submit to that masculine energy that hasn't done the work might have been right. Because look at the world of patriarchy, built on war, famine, hunger, fear, hatred. Maybe we needed that other aspect to be integrated, that aspect of the divine feminine. I really want it to be clear that this message is greater than what it seems and just on the surface, just like everything in life is too. The points that I'm bringing up and what I'm saying can be representing things that I'm also not saying and points that also are not being made. You are the puzzle piece that brings it all together, that brings it all home to make it all make sense. You matter too. Bred a period of prosperity and abundance. And here we have the weeping willow, family sorrow. Again, we talked about the discord among friends and family. And we've been talking about in the video prior to this about epigenetic healing, epigenetic construct, healing things that you didn't even experience directly. That was all what was being worked on through this continuous, repetitive ass cycle that we couldn't see the point of. This is a season of breakthroughs and where the point will be made very clear. Points from decades and centuries ago will be made very clear. Bottom of the deck, Jupiter expansion. As I'm recording this, Jupiter has entered Cancer, and Cancer is doing a lot of work with Mercury and Jupiter. Cancer also rules over feminine energy, the mother wounds, feminine energy, wounds regarding feminine energy, being addressed, being healed, being worked on and worked through. Look at this, Leo represents the sun. This is masculine energy. And masculine energy is known to be as the protector. And we even have this Ace of Pentacles where masculine energy is known to protect and provide. There is a grander scale message coming through about why we needed all aspects of masculine, why we needed all aspects of feminine to build God's kingdom on this earth. As we've talked about, I can't remember which video, we've been talking a lot, so just make sure you catch up. How God's kingdom, aka heaven on earth, will exist before any revelation of the end of the earth. But we just wasn't getting it right because we kept trying to leave this out or leave that out or say that they didn't matter or say that this didn't matter when we need everything in order to move forward. We need all of the truth, not just some of it. So the reason that you move the way you move, the reason why you say the things that you say, the reason why you do the things that you do will all be revealed when we conclude. We need all of it. And now as I'm saying that too, I'm seeing like these Egyptian statues. I don't know if it's gonna be able to this. We need all the truths. Not, oh, this religion is right, this religion is wrong, 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 right, wrong, wrong. No. Bring it all together. Unity. The moment that we embrace unification of all mankind, despite their beliefs or disbeliefs, despite our belief of their validity or value, that is when we see the kingdom through. That's when we get on one accord. Final card. Bottom deck, it's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. And this card, take note of where it landed. Drum roll, please. On top of the Eight of Pentacles, the work that's been done. Whew. Full moon in Aries. A fiery climax approaches. Because of the work that's been done. We have full moon in Aries, full moon in Scorpio. These are rulers of Mars energy. Mars is a planet of action, doing, getting things done. Dynamite. What brought this? Oh yeah, and we have that volcano as well too. More Mars vibes. But what brought this channeled message to you started with that song by Teo Cruz, Dynamite. I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, da 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 da. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo. And it was the lightheartedness of that was coming through. There's something about a repeated cycle of something being so serious and not being set free that was keeping us blocked or locked or shut down. But here we are being freed right now.